Hello, Jamaica, and welcome to January's chart reading. So I am going to get rid of this panel up here first because it gets in the way. So we can get into this thing here, this pizza pie cookie-ish thing, which is the blueprint for your child's life. So before I even get into like the breakdown here, what caught my eye is the fact that you named her in January, right? I thought maybe she was born in January till I actually like started doing the chart and stuff. But no, she was not. What is interesting about that is the fact that she's a Capricorn rising, which is absolutely like peak January energy. I wouldn't be surprised if one day when she goes to have her own family, that you'll end up with the actual like January baby. And I'm saying that because so much of her chart and her energy is based on the business that she will have in the future. So I'm actually gonna pull a card from here just to see like what her rising is saying, because it's saying mogul rising, business owner rising. But when I went to go tap in, I was like, you should use this character deck to find out what she is building towards. Like, what is her business? Since that's the main thing on here. It's like legacy rising. So what is January blossoming into? Okay. So the first thing I got was volunteer, right? That's backed up in the chart because her ascendant, her rising is at the sixth degree. This is a Virgo degree, which is about service. It's the volunteer, the servant, but servant of the most high degree, right? So the card says selfless devotion, willingness, spirit of service, duty, and dedication. Another marker in her chart at the sixth degree of service is her enterprise. Her enterprise is literally what her business is supposed to be. So healthcare or healing worker, right? Her moon, which is her emotional foundation, right? And her Jupiter, which is her growth and expansion, like how she will develop in life, also at the sixth degree of service and volunteer. So just know you are a worker for source here, pretty much. That's the first thing that stands out. The next one. So hold on, we might end up doing what I do. Because diviner is the second one. Seer of the unseen, foresight, insight, and cosmic connection. This is backed up by that same sixth degree moon. That means emotionally, she just picks up on stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if she like was able to tell when people were sick or when something was off. She has a strong intuition, especially in regards to people's physical or emotional ailments. I'm sensing, but that's going to be handy in whatever career field she picks. So let's get into the rest of this tea. Since you know what she's rising into, what her main goals are. So she has Saturn in first. This means all of her restrictions are put on her personally. Anything that is difficult for her to come up, and within a sign of Capricorn, it's usually stuff that has to do with the father or father figure, being restrictory or just some difficulty around that and how it affects her sense of self and her ego. But this Saturn thing is a limitation that is supposed to help her in her career in some way, shape, or form. It's the piece of your chart that is training you for the people that you're going to come across. So there is some hardship in regards to her father, in regards to herself and how she feels about her physical identity. It could even be something like skin, teeth, bones, nails, like, acne or knees. These are all things ruled by Capricorn, but there is something about her physical being that you're going to have to coach her on or help her with because there's a limitation that she is overcoming. The beautiful thing about this is at some point the Pluto will be triggered. It looks like through a one-on-one connection, which could be a relationship or a best friend, or it could very well be your relationship with her will help her transform and appreciate herself as she is. Whatever the limitation was is going to get blown out of the water, and then it'll just give her like this extra boost of energy because she stands out differently from other people in some way, shape, or form. So she will go from working really hard to establish what a wonderful person she is and what she has to give to the world before she decides to settle into her family. I feel like that's important for you to know. She's learning who she is as a person, what her worth is as an individual, because in many other lifetimes, that's what she did first. Her end goal is to be able to relax and have a stable functioning home once she has created what it she wants for herself financially and like for her long-term reputation to be. The second part of her life after the family thing, right? And the business, like tears we're going through. She got a long life ahead of her. So, businesswoman, mom, humanitarian kicks in next. Right now, Pluto just entered Aquarius. So, whatever she is going to be fighting for, whatever her cause in the future will be, is being built right now. Like she's starting to pick up on things that are going on during our time period that are going to fuel what she wants to become in the future. She will be known for her words and her thoughts. I'm getting. I don't know where that is on here yet, but that's what I'm picking. I see it. Her south node at the 27th degree, her north node at the 27th degree, her Mercury, which is her mind and the way she expresses herself, at the 27th degree. Right now, it's in reverse. It's in building. She just keeps her thoughts in her mind right now for a reason. But once she starts to overcome that, which is her Chiron. Ooh, Chiron is the wound that we have that debilitates us originally, but once we start to heal it and break away from it, it becomes like our superpower. So in her case, she doesn't share her thoughts all the time. She's more of an observer, but she's learning while she's observing all the time. She's picking up every detail. But it seems like it's very possible that maybe sometimes she says stuff like, but it's coming through her as a channel. Some people aren't going to take the things that she says kindly. I guess that's the best way to put it. At some point, and I'm not sure, like, what is her age? 2018? It may not have occurred yet. It might have. It could be in the building. But at some point, she's not going to start sharing her ideas or her channels as a part of that whole losing something to appreciate it that sometimes happens in life. But just know she's racking up ideas and thoughts that will one day be the strength in what she's sharing with other people. This is a speaker, absolutely. It's just not going to be obvious at first. So she needs a team. And this is her second house, her values, how she sees other people, or how other people see her worth and how she finds her worth. With it being Aquarius here, she sees her worth through her friends, through other people that she's around, through who she hangs out with. Like other people reflect her back to her because otherwise she's not seeing it as much. A big part of her life will be realizing how excellent she is because she gives so much energy to helping other people or being handy. This is like the kid that's like, hey, mom, you need help with groceries or anything. Like, this is the child that's going to help you with stuff all the time. But keep in mind that that behavior is going to carry on into her friend groups. And there are going to be people who try to take advantage of this, particularly during elementary school, I'm saying here, maybe even middle, just to take her kindness for weakness. And then she has to go through this hardening part before she can get back into respecting her own gift, because this is a gift. I'm saying that because her Mars, which is her drive and her power, is right next to her Neptune. She knows how to move intuitively. Sometimes this comes out in her words as well, and the intuitive things that she says, they can make other people uncomfortable. I think this leads us back to that diviner thing. Like, she knows stuff. She has a gift. But sometimes she's ahead of the curve, so other people don't know that it's coming. So it's a little out of place, and she just has to get used to trusting her intuition and knowing that she is moving because something greater than her is moving her. Because this 13th degree is a self degree, right? Something that happens for her automatically. It's her personal power, but it's also at the same degree as her banks. This is her celestial inheritance. In the future, her money and how she makes money will be based upon these intuitive gifts that she has. Even if she was to get a job in the medical field, like she'd be working with patients and say there's something that's like undiagnosable. Suddenly she would get the ping to look up something and then she would find the diagnosis. Like, she has a advantage that's going to bring her a lot of money. It's very possible that she can even work from home or build whatever she is doing from home with this setup. So her Chiron in third means she's not going to express herself all the time. She might not even trust her mental processes. So it's very important for you to always let her know. Sometimes you don't know why you know what you know, but it's okay that you know it, baby. Just so she always has that in the back of her mind. Her gold or her shining energy is in her mind, absolutely. But once again, for some reason, it's meant to be seen through other people. I'm feeling deeply like in another life, what happened was she was so good at what she did that she cut everybody out of her life, including family. So this life is forcing her to realize that she needs other people besides herself, to realize the importance of having relationships or connections with other people. So Midas is at the 25th degree, another self degree. It's in her family. Like she will be the one that changes the family line from being somewhere that like seems like a rough upbringing. And it doesn't even have to necessarily be her upbringing, although it could have started like that, like before she was aware or had memories or anything. Y'all were in a loud environment or somewhere where she had to be a soldier, had to feel strong. But it seems like there's a masculine energy that is predominant on the maternal side of the family that she actually has the healing touch to make the change with. Like the way she runs her household or will run her household will balance out that warrior or fighter or soldier energy that every woman on your mom's side of the family has had to carry before now. That is going to lead her into that wealth and that Venus energy. So that the next branch, the one she creates, is all about being in her soft era, right? Like she's the last one that had to be a little bit hard and had to, in some ways, sacrifice those parts of herself in order for her children and the children after that to be more in their flow, if you will. So right now, her developmental phase, her childhood is about art and learning. That's what I would focus on for her. Like, give her all the books, give her all the different opportunities to do different types of arts, because that's where she's going to cultivate that inner child energy that allows her to share herself freely with other people. She thrives on doing teamwork, like having somebody do something with her, like even if it's just drawing, if it's dancing, if it's learning how to write. Those are all things she would enjoy because the sixth house is of what she needs on a daily basis. And this is the like the ruler, I'm going to say, of her chart because it's that sixth degree in that Virgo house. She needs to learn something new every day. Her mind is her weapon. And she doesn't even know that she's a healer yet. That's backed up by the fact that this is retrograde. But her healing energy is in her words, nurturing people with those words, with her thoughts, with what she knows. So you can even start doing little psychic exercises. Like what I do is I take these cards, and this is with my children. I'll shuffle, and then I'll hold one up from the back, and I'll be like, what's on the other side of this? The same way you do flashcards. You would be giving her an advantage on her psychic gifts that are going to help her in her career in the future. I just had a client earlier where I explained this. I was like, take your cards and do this, right? And then just for the first 30 seconds, 15 seconds over time, right? Just children might even be faster, so you might be able to get it in 10. But just let whatever comes through you stream through. And then when you look at the card afterwards, you can say, oh, my eye was drawn to the pink, or my eye was drawn to the sand or the woman. And then you'll get, or she'll get used to, because you can use this for yourself as well, how her psychic gifts are working. Then after that, you'll be able to do it with anything. Like if somebody comes up to you with a folder, you could put your hand on the folder and do the same thing that you've been doing with the cards the whole time. You're training the gift just using a flashcard as the in-between. I was explaining to my client earlier that's a lawyer. I said, do that with your cards for a couple months. Tune up your skill and tighten it up so that when you flip them cards over, you're starting to actually get full pictures, so you understand what's coming through and you can open your channels and use those faster. Because then in the future, when you get a case that comes to you, you'll be able to put your hands on the details of the case and pick up stuff that you ain't even supposed to be picking up because you're using your psychic gifts for something else. That is exactly what I'm feeling like she is meant to do, like she is able to do. And you're going to be impressed by how quick she can pick it up, especially at this age. So the next thing she needs is to be babied, because it seems like she babies other people a lot, or she gives that nurturing, healing energy. So she's going to have to learn. Self-care is important as much as you care for others, and boundaries, especially when she starts to care for somebody, because that's her shadow side. That's in her seventh house. What does that mean? That means sometimes she will attract people who just want her loving energy. They want her good heart. So I would say as a mother, just you always be looking at what friends she's attracting because she is learning boundaries in that area. That when you love somebody, you don't have to pour like everything into them, especially if you're not getting it back equally. And how important it is to care for herself, even when she's feeling kind, because that seems to be like her general nature here. So she's also going to attract people who are in love with how giving she is because they are self-focused and they realize that she's a good thing, like that she's the prize. So she needs to know that not everybody who is interested in you is interested in you for the right things. And I'm saying that because this is all in also her marriage house. And before it's marriage, it's like best friends and the people that you attract to be really, really close to you. And I'm seeing that that is a lesson that she is going to be learning here. So this eighth house, where she has her enterprise and her angel, this is like somebody who has a career in psychology, healing mental illness, helping people through like some of the most difficult things they will go through in their life is what I'm dealing here. Just with her just being there and optimistic and being around because it's in the eighth house. This is also the ability to gain money or earn money from helping other people fix their lives. Boom. And that's right next to where her abundance is. And it's in a Taurus degree. So this is somebody who can help teach other people about like eating better, getting out and exercising, grounding as well. It's like her chart is screaming, it's nurse, but it's not nurse. It's like free range nurse, somebody who is helping people individually. It could even be like life coaching, speaking, or like what is that, like keynote speaker and stuff. But it's going to be all around those topics of health and how to keep your body functioning for people who don't even know where to begin, is what I'm getting. Her value is in everything you teach her about how to care for herself, because those are all the things that she's going to continue to share as like her belief system, right? Next, we have the fact that she might write about these things. She would also do really good with painting, with horses, ironically, classical music, but a literary soul. Fashion probably makes her really happy too. All things beauty. Even if she was teaching people like skincare or how to make their own products at home, could be something here. Like this is not a limited chart at all. This is a mogul. She's going to do whatever she puts her mind to. And it looks like a lot of that might be beauty, unique beauty, ways to care for unique beauty, ways to embrace your own unique look. And I'm saying that because the 10th house is the house of career, right? Her Venus, which is the way she physically looks, is in her career house, but it's also her value, like what she brings to the table. What she brings to the table is her unique spidey senses. The fact that once she wants something and she goes after it, it pretty much comes to her with ease in the work department. The only thing working against that at any given time is her not moving with her intuition. She is her only block, but if she doesn't realize that, then that will work against her. Just remember that for her career, because she'll be doing something that's possibly taboo, like the divining work or this astrology and stuff like that. It'll just be taboo because people don't know how she's doing it. Whatever it is, she's going to be really good at it. And I say that because you see this 11th house? This is the house of gains, but it's also the house of the collective. When you have something to contribute to the world out on the big stage, you have planets in this house. She has not one, not two, but four, including her son, which is like the main place where her player is, her character. This also puts her right underneath. Let me show you the tree of life. Just because I got to show you now that it popped up. I put reading on there because of the little lag here. It's just the visuals. My mouse should still be. Okay, so this is the tree of life. This is pulling right now, and everybody has a different position where where they are at on this tree. This is Earth, right here at the bottom. Your baby incarnated right up here, right? This is a part of the Trinity. God's energy is right here. that explains all that servant stuff that I was recognizing as well. But when she gets into it, a ping, or when a message comes through her, just know it's coming from the boss, right? That's why her position in this world is going to be one that she shines in. It's like she's bringing back a holistic energy of the way that people should have been doing stuff beforehand. Like she will be a very spiritual person, a very intuitive, like clairvoyant. And a lot of her dreams are actually going to be prophetic or things that she needs to write down. So it would probably be good that you get her into journaling. So much of her power and where she's starting and where she's going has to do with words and writing and learning how to express herself, even creatively. Just she needs to be in touch with her words and not have any limitations on like the amount of words that she knows. Like give her some vocab words. Help her expand that part of herself. Even when it comes to and I'm checking her moon is in Sag, her going different places or learning about different countries. She'd also probably be really good at learning other languages. I think you're dealing with a multilingual job. Start with something simple or something that'll be useful where you can take it to a place where they speak their language and then she can talk to them. Let me hold on a second. I got a ping that I needed to check here because I kept hearing like ambassador. I did a post like last week about this. Like there are only a certain amount of astrological placements that represent somebody who is ambassador for source. So when I heard ambassador right now, I'm like, hold on, let me check. That would be explain why she would need to learn multiple languages. Somebody who can speak what is coming through them to multiple different types of people. So where am I sensing this from? Her career house. Now I got to show you. So this is my ebook, the 360 degrees of the zodiac, because every 5 degrees of the zodiac has a residing or presiding over a specific angel and a specific distortion of that angel, right? There's a gift that comes along with each of these energies. And this between the 25th, the 20th and the 25th degree of Libra, like we are seeing right here in her. Back it up. I'm on this one. Here we go. Between the 25th and the 30th degree. There we go. And that should be right here, ambassador. So themes of this, and I'll just go ahead because this has to do with her career house. Let me zoom out so you can see them. Ambassador, education, upbringing, instruction, laws, order, politics, teaching, traveling. And I mentioned all of that, right? So let's get to this. Things that her career house resonate with: political order, establishes the laws of heaven on earth. And these are absolutely the angelic energies that Source put into her as a part of her volunteer mission that she will be known for. Social and spiritual organizations, structure, success, and expansion, plans wisely with foresight, helps us understand adversity, knowledge of good and evil, procures lucidity and global vision, unmasked traders, allows us to discover secrets and mysteries, natural authority, obedience, and loyalty, president, leader, person in charge, minister, ambassador, consul, a teacher, security and protection while traveling, protects against accidents, success in external relationships, teaches and instructs during the night. Didn't I just tell you she gets most of her prophecy while she's sleeping and stuff? That's her part of fortune. That's her luck. The stuff that comes through her when spirit is guiding her. That's why she needs to write down her dreams and whatever visions and stuff comes through her. Establishes absolute power of the spirit. This is somebody who is going to be able to prove to other people that God exists, right? Those are the highlights. The main thing of that energy. All this other stuff is what's going to try to get in the way. See, like the envy, jealousy, and betrayal. Wouldn't it be weird if she ended up in politics? Like what? But I did say that there is a part of her chart that says after she establishes her businesses and have her family, she's going to be a humanitarian or find some other kind of cause that she wants to fight for. I would not put politics above it because, like I said, the events that are occurring right now are playing out in the back of her mind as big things that she's going to want to help with or help change in the future. So her big turning point for her is when she moves into her own home. And it could very well be across seas or not even in the United States. Like there's a big move or something that happens with her household, and that's going to be the whole thing that steps her into her grown energy. The big shifts that need to happen that cause her to start speaking out that energy that has just been building behind her whole entire life. So I just walked you through your daughter's whole entire existence. And you are just in the process of seeing this little lady budding. So you have a great blessing on your hands. And I hope this gave you like all the indications of the stuff that you were noticing. Like, what? I know this was like a special child, but holy shit. Like that's the energy here. So thank you so much. And you have a good day.